Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to get straight into it. This is a question we get asked, or I get asked very regularly on a daily basis. In fact, is because we do a lot of these sort of old school muscle cars, classics. We do a lot of paint corrections on them, and the $1 million question is, how do I look after it once it's done? A lot of people don't like using the wash method, which is, if you go back to the last couple of videos that I've done, you'll see how we do regular washes for your everyday vehicle. So in this video I'm going to maybe break it up into two. So I'm going to show you how to do it without water, using like a waterless wash, and then I'm going to show you on this car, if not my car, how I'll probably how ideally I clean it still using water. So, but we get asked this one over and over again, and then I've always said, look, I'll do a video for you guys, because it's really basic. There's not obviously, if you're not going to use water, there's not much else we can do. The key to waterless washing is obviously good microfiber cloths, and probably a few of them as well, because if the car, even if it's not drastically dirty, it's still going to be really dusty, and the key is not dragging that dust all over the car. So we're trying to attempt it on this on the Falcon today. It's probably been sitting in the workshop for a few days, and it was in another workshop the last couple of weeks getting some maintenance done. So it's probably not really dirty, but it's this car hasn't been paint corrected, mind you. Something I'm going to do down the track. So it's a good car to show you what we're about to do. But even so, this is still, if you're not, this is probably a bare minimum if you're looking after your car, and instead of just dry wiping it, this is probably one of the better methods to use if you don't want to wet your car. So obviously all the cars have rust and in certain areas, and you don't want to aggravate that. So this is an option. So there's a lot of waterless washes. I won't go into brand. We might do a brand comparison later down the track. This is just the one I use. And the key, like I said, is obviously a good microfiber cloth, and a few of them. But we're only going to do sort of like half a bonnet here, so I would probably use, once you've folded the cloth into like sort of 8 sections, you can sort of get away with maybe 4 or 5 cloths on the car. And if they're good cloths, you should be able to just throw them in the wash, or if they're try and stay away from the cheaper ones. But yeah, I would just. Personally, I'll try them out, but that's just me. When you're using waterless washes, obviously follow the instructions of the ones you use. The ones I use and sell here, we try and spray liberally all over the area we're going to do, so that sort of lifts the dust off. So if you've got like a good open spray area, and then what we want to do is sort of just not harshly, not fast, just sort of try and pick up the dust. So you can see there, that's just your half your bonnet, half your bonnet dust. And then you just want to buff off the remains. And then obviously when you get to the other side, then you'd probably use the cleaner side you just buffed off with, and then you'd fold it up and go again. So it's not rocket science there, it's just keeping your initial, wipe side, clean, and then turning it over and always having like a clean side on that first one anyway. So that's the clean side of it. You can see that's, the car's a bit dusty in how it came up. And then obviously just as a bit of maintenance, if you're, it's always good to have something, like I said in the previous videos, it's always good to add a layer of protection as well. This car was waxed with one of our Swiss waxes, which it eventually will be. Then we'll finish it off with the Lotus Speed, which in itself is a good protection. Even though these supposedly matte satin stripes, they're supposed to be matte. I'm still going to stay away from them. I don't like going over them and making them any worse. If you had matte stripes, Swiss Wax does an opaque cleaner and quick detailer for them, and I'd recommend that for matte and satin stripes. On the gloss bits, you don't need a lot of this. It's just more like less is more for this one. So I'll just do a couple sprays on the cloth. That'll be more than enough for this half of the bonnet. And just buff off. So that's it. That's pretty much it. Just keeping it really simple. Like I said, get hold of some cloths. That's the most important thing. And good lubrication. And and you're finishing it off with your wax. So if you want to go into any more depth on that one, feel free to comment in the comment section, share it around. We'll follow up this one with the actual, the washing procedure. If you're going to use if you want to use water, if you're happy to use that on your car, we'll show you that one next. Or you can go back to one of the last videos where we did more the daily driver washes, which is a more complex system, but that's also applicable to these sort of cars too. So this is just purely for those guys that don't want to wet their car, don't want to add water. You've got to do some sort of procedure. Don't just those dusters and trying to wipe them off. You're just going to introduce that micro marring, that fine webbing into the paint, and you just want to have it polished obviously more often, and you just want to try and minimise that as much as you can. Okay, so thanks for watching.